Yes, we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. And on behalf of the then and now TNN TV Media Empire platform, which is the hub of the conversation, I bring una all hearty, warm, pleasant greetings. Famulem, we country is at a crossroad, elections looming. Every day when we wake and grab, there is something new. And we within at the news business, we know say we need to go out of news anytime soon. And una we don't just sign on and they ask una for give me a thumbs up quickly for show me say una dey hear me. Yesterday we've been getting a very serious program. Unfortunately, that program they get stalled because of technical issues regarding audio. We don't want to encounter similar thing, but today I sure say una dey hear me loud and clear. So let me just check some of the comments then quickly with the one that we don't sign on. Again, I say when I give me a thumbs up if I'm loud and clear, and please help to share. Ladies and gentlemen, today, now the 23rd of April, 2023, me when they talk to one, and my name Prince Emil Koma, and me, they present or host this program. On this program today, we're supposed to get 3 guests. We still are with the 2 other guests. Them, 1 day Freetown, 2 day London. One of them don't sign on, and we still are with the other 2. But whatever the case, if they do turn up or they don't, would expect say they will provide a reason as to why they not turn up. That's a gentleman's agreement, if you like. And we know say sometimes technical difficulties can be, but it's gentlemanly and decent for make contact and say what is the reason, because after all, away from me, other people that they expect them. Having said this, the conversation today is around a very big political character in the country. And they talk about none other but Dr. Kandeh of the National Grand Coalition. Dr. Kandeh, of course, is a son of the soil. And for a very long time, he's been part of the political apparatchik in the country, but left on a different sojourn. Became a director general for one of the arms of the United Nations, which shoot him into another level of prominence. And at some point, he come back home and decide for can contest elections, which means that a lot of people were fed up with politics, decide for Falaram with the hope for say this now being the new beginning. But of course, because we are traumatized people politically, it becomes difficult for them we understand or see in between people for exactly what they are or the politics within the preach, because we quick for be carried away. I'm saying this because if we may expect change and we talk about a third force, which later on became the mantra of one political party, we metamorphose into something else. Then for we don't understand, say, if you go to one of them political parties there and go pledge your allegiance and tell the people them of the country, say, now yaso I belong, this na me papa in place, this na me area of origin, then it's obvious in many respects that you've got no intention, and I'm not judging for change the party. And I feel vindicated because going forward, we see exactly waiting get for happen. There were many things that were said, throughout that journey day, and it not work out well. And in the end, he walked away from the party or was expelled, whichever. Then after they don't, bringing him into disrepute, in the sense that the doctor claimed that he was a registered member of the party says he's not registered. And we have to believe one thing, because in the end, we saw a registration process will take place in front of very eyes, in which he himself came publicly and acknowledged that he has now registered in cahoots with the current minister, Speaker of the House, Honorable Cherno Abbas Bundu, we then, I believe, have been the Secretary General of the party for public relations sake, and come out and then show their ID card, and Dr. Kandeh was a very pleased man. A few months later down the line, he became a very distressed character. They malign him, they molest him, and not only him, but the entire party, people and women, they support him. And in the end, he didn't get for left. That's not just a brief background. The history long, and time will never permit us. But waiting to happen, now where we are today. And where we are today, after Dr. Kandeh don't left and don't go form his own party or invited into a party called the National Grand Coalition. I wonder what was grand about the coalition and the English word coalition, but it still remained a one-man party. And when I say a one-man party, I mean it was all Dr. Kandeh, and Dr. Kandeh, whichever way you twist and turn them. Even though you can get other heavyweights, yeah, in the background, Andrew Kylie's, and then Dennis Bright. But so powerful was this man that he looked big. But a political party is supposed to get structure, and that structure is supposed to be occupied by other people, then, not only one person. If it become one person, it becomes something like almost a nepotism. It become, something, really fraudulent, and it doesn't augur well at all in terms of representation. And going forward, this is what we will come to see within people like we've been on the talk for a long time. And part of what we've been on the talk for a long time just prove itself because Dr. Kandeh, which now the subject of today, go into an alliance with the ruling Sierra Leone People's Party, a party where he belonged to. He left. Of course, there's nothing wrong with you going back, but when you go back and they tell the Sierra Leonean people, of which I am a part of, then of course this is of concern to us, and as we understand them, we go like for make them things, then they kind of public. That when you go negotiate, in fact, not to you, they lead that negotiation day, or they will have to appoint you. You were a member of parliament for the party. The party, if it had a structure, and I want to believe say there was some form of a structure in terms of the chairman or the leader or chairman leader for the party, now the responsibility then they abrogate duties to you if they see and please. But it seems like all along this, leading to this progressive alliance, now Dr. Kandeh, urging people now to make the call again, say, was it ever a political party? You see, ideas that we didn't sell from the very beginning was more, some people sort of describe them as a social club. This is not my word. This is what they've been saying out there. And the tenets around this party seem for indicate something of that kind, with only one man at the very end where I don't already talk about. And we know who that particular man is none other but Dr. Kandeh Yunkela. While this member was an MP, I mean, all logic go say all political party a process. The process either even day, but we see it abused. And despite what was presented to us in the public, in the sense that this is a progressive party, we want to talk about today. We want to know how very progressive this party was. Is he trying to be progressive now? Was he progressive then? Has he got any philosophy, any ideology? Or is just a bunch of opportunists who at the earliest opportunity have already taken a lifeline offered by President Bio, as depicted in the picture behind me? The smile says it all. A marriage of convenience? Why? A progressive alliance? A progressive alliance based on what? Now let's look at what's in a progressive. I don't have this argument with some people inside the NGC for some time. You can intend for one be progressive, but you're not progressive. Or you are progressive and waiting at the elements of being progressive. Now, if you're not progressive, you almost lean to the left. You almost, the champion or encourage social justice, freedom, less incarceration of your people, job opportunities, a unity and provision for your people, a good healthcare service, education, and things like that. But even though you're not in a power for enforcing things, then they'll implement them rather by carrying out policies which will favor them people in there. Outside of power, what were you been doing to indicate that? Nothing of that kind. Other than probably sometimes, you're just spilling out jargon, some magazine, I mean, all for one, palamp, we almost like a Chinese slogan, we were the we boku. So while the public was given an impression that the party was a force for good and will have no business with the existing duopoly, I mean the APC and the SLPP, which the same people refer to Alusain and Alassane. Little did we know that I think Bese or Kandeh or Ose, but I think one or two of my guests then go emphasize on that a little bit. But this is what we see playing out right before our very eyes, that this estranged relationship or this estranged child who was pushed out is now become the prodigal son and returning home with some of the people and way fall around. Is this reuniting in a progressive way will better the country? Is this progressive alliance that we hear about going to help the country for move forward in the current situation where we depend? Plenty of red flag been on the flag up, and it appear like people like us in the media, we don't amplify this for quite a long time, highlighting the shortcomings. Highlighting the shortcomings on Sunday simply means we identify problems so that we political leadership, because every country get forgetting political leadership. Everybody can do politics, everybody can be political leader, but the leaders then go understand when the people they vent out the anger, if you like, or the grievance, the vent them out. There has to be listening ears out there because probably something is just not right. But this has not been the case. We send people to parliament for represent these constituents. Still, nothing not really happened. All we get from people, them the surrogates, the supporters, then lampoon we, then bastardize we for saying nothing but the truth, for asking questions which are relevant to the development of we society. Excuse me, let me just sharpen your lights a little bit more. So we come to this. As today, I feel very descriptive, and vindicated, while people of some academic credits, either I'm part of the political party who we talk about in inverted commas, all they offer the general public is waiting I want to refer to as verbal diarrhea, half-truths, non-truths, but saying it anyway, wrapped up in deceit, and tell them about the ambition of one man. How can the ambition of one man lead people, here to this point? Is it not supposed to be about ideology? Is it not supposed to be about philosophy? Is it not supposed to be about the cornerstone, the tenets, what people stand for, principles, values? Is not what this supposed to be? Okay. However, whatever principles were there that Dr. Kandeh once held, which people did admire or thought that they admire was there, is now in tatters, according to opinion out there. A lot of people, the nation is divided, but I know a lot of people are more disappointed because whilst it's not impossible to form a union or an alliance or nothing really wrong, but other than which you tell people waiting at the intention, because Sierra Leoneans are not fools. You got some fickle-minded ones, but the challenges are rising and people are beginning to wise up. So as Dr. Kandeh decided to go join back the pack of wolves, which he once cried out, at a very critical stage in the election calendar, not during the period of the government for, say, progressive alliance, you criticized them all along. You knew that they were not doing well for the Sierra Leonean people, but you could have joined them then openly in an alliance if you so felt that this was the situation. But this was quite the opposite. But towards the end of their term, you are now saying that you're forming a strategic and progressive alliance as if the other side was progressive, as if you were progressive. There are question marks being drawn all around this. Is it about being progressive, or is it about a marriage of convenience, either saving your own political career whilst helping the president to win an elections? Let's have our guest, here for tonight. One of our guests for tonight, we happen to be a man. We get a huge presence on social media. He gets a voice out there. He cannot be silenced. He's been saying these things that I am saying. None of this is new, and is none other but the one and only Imran Toure. Imran, it's been a while on the program, and I'm always, as always, looking very good, my brother, looking sharp. I want to welcome you again to the Then and Now program. Of course, you are a friend to this program, and I value your friendship. Of course, people they can talk about opinions and bias. You think, say, Don Lemon, they sit on a CNN, you not get opinion. You feel, say, Andrew Neil, veteran journalist, and not get opinion. So I don't understand. However, permit me for digress. Let me just come back to the topic. Dr. Kandeh Yumkela, an alliance. What's your take, first of all, about the man, Dr. Kandeh Yumkela? I think so. Would experience the same thing, Imran. Another area, which is strange. Earlier on, I've been the area. Did you touch anything? Start unmute yourself or something?
Good evening, Mifambulem. Good evening, Mifambulem.
Yeah.
And thank you for the invite. I thoroughly enjoy them the last time, and I sure I will enjoy them again today. And to be honest, I am so pleased for the kind of introduction where you make of the whole program itself. We know they come for can't condemn anybody. We can talk on issues, and critically, if we talk about these issues, there are certain words them they really fly about. We talk about progressive. What does progressive mean when it comes to politics? It means that people way present them where they advocate for social reform. That is like how you put them, mostly na the leftists, na reformists, na innovators, na progress. When I say you're na progressivists, you're na person where gets a tendency for fight for people and rights, for fight for people well-being, for talk about how you go progress the economy where everybody go benefit. So you basically in a person way stand in the side of social justice. That is what progressive politician is. And can they not get that quality there? Maybe you not get that quality there, I'm afraid. Then you talk about coalition. Now a temporal arrangement where you get a combined action, especially for political parties forming government. So you will think a coalition, probably after elections, nobody not get an outright majority, then it come to a level where they get for negotiate. So then go make one party first, like the party really in power, for make a get the first go for try for negotiate with another smaller party for let them get an understanding for make them form government. This is not the case. This is even before elections, as my brother rightly put up. It look like for say this na one not one of principle, now one of convenience, and then that is very worrying. That is very worrying. Then if you come for alliance na relationship based on similarity, on interest, So they talk about where you get, the party then get similar values, similar principles. What are the values where them people they get? And what's really frightening about this whole thing, my dear brother, you get an alliance, you get a progressive alliance. All these jargons, fine, but we get for inspect them. We not go try for tell which are the intention because we know they in their mind. We cannot think for them. But waiting we they see objectively in front of we tangible. Kandeh to start with not go na SLPP because of any other reasons. He said it himself. There's a video where they go around where Kandeh talk for say he left because he did not got what he wanted. He left particularly not based on principle. He left because he was not happy. He not get what he wants. So he left because of self, not on principles. And he talk he said, I'm a party that one day. Now, inside this party I born, I only they left because I'm not happy now. But then give me what I want, I will come back. So he stated exactly his position. And now, they don't get what he wants. So he don't go back. And this is the problem where quite a lot of people do not understand about politics. Third force for the work in Sierra Leone, third force. All the third forces that who don't ever get in the issue of Sierra Leone, they are not based on principles. They are based on individual interest. All the leader them. Then they come, they make as loud a noise they can for make them go get attention. Then for make them set them out, then call them, say, we don't cook rice, so Kalo can eat. If you don't already get his own ready, so it's just a wash in hand, a deep pan at the bowl. No question asked. They move on. And that's how it's always been. All the parties that we don't form previously, they've all gone into bed with the bigger parties because their intention was not based on principles. Period. So what you talk about now? Now this union. Who are the people them? What you they say people in the can together? First, you get for ask what is their intention, and we get for know who are the people them. Because what if man and get na thief then they can thief. We murderer and get na kill then they can kill. We Christian and get na pray then they can pray. We Muslim then get then they can pray. But then two people they are looking at the history. Them both be guy. Them both not care about the people in interest, that them personal interest they care about. Them both they claim say they are progressive. Like Kandeh they talk for say Salon first. When you look Kandeh not mean Salon first, it mean Kandeh first. Because we see where it be the rants one particular day where he talk for say people and get the mind when they talk to Mother Bio, then they ask them what in they talk, that they for make the decision. Who the hell are they? For the intention power than the eve. When they talk about modern politics, you talk about transparency. If you are representing people, you know they talk for say the money is okay for me to contribute them. Then where it comes and decision making, they are not allowed. That is not democracy. Democracy now a situation where if you they contribute, you know they only contribute financially. You they contribute in the process. You they take part in that decision making because you they represent we. We are stakeholders. We are as relevant as you are. The only thing is now you they go talk on we behalf. And if you go talk on we behalf, you get for engage with we. So it's a then available to them. That was not as bad as the facts now say, with all them negative things they are where it don't show about in your character. Now, the two worst politicians ever in the history, them both say that they can make grand coalition. This is not a grand mistake because to start with, they are both not genuine. Them both know to assets to them, each other and to the country. Because where you say somebody in an asset, now somebody where they bring dividend. Marabio, since where he can, what thing he don't do for we? What thing he don't achieve? The only person when you say Marabio don't do something, now Marabio. And when you do something, not so you they talk him, if now you they talk him, then you don't do nothing. So if this man don't kill as many people as possible, then now, can they say they go join them? So the adage when they say birds of the same feathers flock together, it's been confirmed. So what do me see? I see two sekpende, what in Creole man called sekpende. Now in what they call pantini, and backup. That is na hawk for catch folding. So we are now in trouble because the predator, they don't become stronger because they don't come in alliance. When sekpende they come together, not so nothing they can do that for can't catch fall. So we, the electorate, we are chickens. We are not safe anymore. We Pekin are not safe anymore. We family, they in trouble. So, is this a blessing for us? No. This is more a curse than a blessing. Because now, this man where they kill, we Pekin them. Where they kill, we family them. Where, now the most unpopular president ever in the history of Sierra Leone don't get man where get jargon in a emote. All they do na jargon them. It is spew out. Now man we get ranker and na in can tell you about rankonomics. Failing to tell us he is the father of rankonomics. Now in can tell you about Alassane and Alusine. We be the feel say well if APC na Alassane Daniel and Hassan, then in go be the best although. But nothing did we know that Kandeh Yom Kela not to even the do or the bese. They were triplets. You get Alassane and Hassan. Now we don't get the Taiwo. So this a shock to some people, but it's never a shock to me because I said it from the beginning that anybody where anytime he open a mouth for talk about politics, he ends up talking about himself. It has to be Kandeh. I don't talk to all the presidents in the world. And when they talk about presidents, them they talk about the Ugandan president, they talk about Gaddafi, they talk about all the dictators, them, they talk about the presidents. Is that what you the elect person for? No. You are there to serve the people. You are there to build wealth for the country so people in life go improve. All of these, where can they talk? Since we can take power, he has voted for everything bad what SLPP do. Now we get the worst ever Speaker of the House. And the Speaker of the House give me card. Then we don't recruit and long term. Then we just they play with buffoon. Abbas Bundu, now the most ultra corrupt individual in the history of Sierra Leone. You go therefore forgive me. This guy, now a contraceptive case where appear now a labor ward accidentally. Because this man, now one of the most intelligent academics in that country day, but the academia has never been beneficial to the country. Every time where he show up, now bad news, bad omen. But he's in bed with these people. And it is not accident. These actions are all deliberate. Then we don't pre-plan them. Then we just defend them for let them drop them, pan we. But the fact is, are we going to buy it? Are people going to fall for it? Once people like me they alive, I go continue for say what I know. I go continue for give me observation. I know they do this because I dislike him. This man gets history of controversy because even in daddy, people and sing against him. Can you have from strike? Kandeh yom kelakono? Fode yom kelakono? You know, Ahmed Fode Suma was one of the most controversial paramount chiefs in the Gambia district. He not left a good name. He gets a bad history. Even the ruling house, where now in the first chief of that ruling house day, now one way he concocts by himself. It never existed in the history of some, and he left a very bad taste on the people and mocked. But as I can say, apple not for don't fall from the tree. Kandeh Yumkela really just don't show say na man we not get class, you not get values, you not get any principles. Because when you think about politics, if you're a progressive politician, you fully think about the best interest of the people. He only thinks about himself and what he can get. Now, man with gluttonous, he biai, he anhaun, he hawoof, he thief. And the only reason we make Kandeh come na saloon politics, na for can join the big boys. I will tell you yesterday, say saloon politics, we get the bad guys. They don't take over politics. That's the sad thing about Sierra Leone. They don't kidnap the politics now, space now we earn. And now, them people who don't kidnap politics now we earn, then at the stratosphere. And at the stratosphere, party no de. Party no de. That Usai Kandeh, Mother Build and they are friends. Most of them, they are friends by day and lovers by night. A lot of APC, now APC by day, SLPP by night. And the other thing they happen back where SLPP then they, whether not SLPP by day and APC by night. But we, the electorate, now we depend on party politics. We country, these corrupt elements then, they don't take over everything, my brother. They don't take over the criminal justice system, that is the rule of law. They don't take over parliament. They don't take over the police. They don't take over the army. They don't take over the civil service. They don't take over civil societies. Everything has been taken over. All waiting we get, now we say. And why don't we have to stay in power? Because they have made the electorate so partisan that right now while they talk so, SLPP, they wish me dead.
Yeah, and Imran.
Right now where they talk so, LPC them, when you talk against them, then they wish you dead. Because this is how these people stay in power. And we are the people then wake up for recognize this. And this is what I am trying to do, and you they try to do. For make it clear to the people and say, them people then here don't all we hostage. And we go really blow the whistle on them.
Yeah, and we go come to that. And thank you very much for eloquently making the case. And obviously, you, Naman, we understand the political culture of we country, and obviously the political actors there. You understand the psychology, and you always make this impressive calculation and eloquent um, 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 statements out there. So I want to agree with you, and in the definition of progressive because that is really key, and that these people they need to understand, and then throw it at people out there because you see these politicians. I always say this: they can feel say we be fool, and then are the most clever and grab in the morning. Then wear their necktie, then tima before the mirror, before then they come on and do, then smile or then green, just like how Dr. Kandeh, the green at the picture. And then come the degree of arrogance we don't go inside with politicians them. The way out and they talk to the people them whom they are responsible, here for answer to. They look the chief minister, look the minister of education. I mean, I'm not Senge. Senge seems within a young quiet corner. But the minister of information. But back to progressive, you absolutely define and right. This is people way they advance the cause of people and right, advancing people's right, providing security, just like I say from the beginning. Make sure say that the people are living a dignified life and then they get equal justice under the law. Cut down incarceration, not just the jail people and fata for little or nothing at all. Avoid mass sackings of your people reckless spending, corruption, fiscal indiscipline, and then you respect the democratic rights of the people. Above all, try to improve the lives of the people, your citizens, through political actions and social reforms. This is the basic that the people call for. But over the 5 years, if I listen to you well, we haven't seen that, which would have embodied, the fundamentals of progressivism. But this is lacking. So which progressive are they really talking about? This is why it behooves me of asking the question, is it a political convenience, a political marriage as election may come? But let me put this to you, my dear brother. It should be, I believe, about a commitment to changing the culture of our political and democratic system. Because if you're progressive, these are the things that you want for change. Once more, even though you don't make the case done, and it sounds very much like, say, this is not the case, or within the pursue, I want to delve deep into this. But I go once more ask you, for bill on which you don't say already. I mean, what's in the connection there with the grassroots, where they're supposed for the look after? Waiting at the connection this with reforms we don't do over the last 5 years, we don't really touch the people. Economic development, empowering your people, giving them a dignified life. Break this down for the audience, if you will, please, before I go in depth into this alliance within the column, where we go sort of try for crack them open and see what NGC is, what Dr. Kandeh is, and whose kind of alliance. Is it about going back home? Is it a prodigal son? Is it a return back to your roots? Imran.
Media brother, I'm really happy that you're asking that question because this is baffling, not only for me, but for quite a lot of the pundits out there. What is going on? You would ask that question because, when you look at what is there to offer, Madabio, when he take power, he talk for say the very first thing we tell we is say it bring a new direction. It can change the country, the outlook. When he take power, the very first thing where he change, now the change where he say he can't change. Then the next thing he talk for say in politics, you they come eradicate corruption. And you not get the mandate, you not get the authority. There are certain things that the way they evolve into in politics, you get forget that kind of majority there, which you not get. But you see, let me tell you something. All what they happen, so it's deliberate. This guy is ultra corrupt. Before he even take power, he knew what he was going to do and how he could set up the agenda. He knew he didn't win the election. He knew he would not come a second time, and he wanted that desperately. So So since when Madabio take power, I can challenge anybody in our government. From the very first day where he take power, it's about facilitating a second term. He talk about corruption. It not be mean corruption. It be mean he want use corruption for make it disadvantage all the opposition there. He call inquiry for let he put blemish on them. But who has blemish worse than Madabio? Who would want to believe, say, Grumpig go get the mind for such pockets arata? Where all man of the community know for say Grumpig the thief banga pass arata. You know, it's a joke. It's a joke. Then he comes now, he say it can't all them because then thief. And he gonna bow. He talk for say, I not go jail them, for them can't give money. When they pull the money, we're not going to jail them because we're not get money for feed them. Do you see the conspiracy? Then they tell people say they don't pay someone, they don't pay money. They're not get set to the money because if you do something like that, people can't pay money. It should be published. It should be gazetted because transparency is the order of the day. We didn't see that. Then the next thing what we see the way where they make Abbas Bundu the Speaker of the House. They say they get case against new minister. The case, they not even sit on the case it's in a court. The clerk say, because they get case, they're not for vote. And in any side, when they investigate people, now pending investigation, they're not even investigate the case yet, they're not even going to court yet, then say because the person get case, enough for vote. They have not found them guilty. Say they're not for them at parliament. What did they do that for? Now for them get an advantage for make them win the vote. And they win the vote because they kick them out. Then the 10 people them, some of them, they not pull them. And one of them person in there, na Chernobyl, they not pull them. But one or something where and all the other subsequent places them, they say Uda na they can second, na they then they don't for do by election. And the constitution is clear. Where something like that happen, you remove somebody, there should be a by-election immediately. The constitution, it did it. Now the book, when the superior law, all other law they under, it don't make it clear. Say that should be the case, there should be by-election. They say the judge say, now the people that we can second. The judge not get that mandate today. Nobody not get that mandate today. So all the side where SLPP can second, they reinstate, they make them. Then the side where SLPP no can second, when an NGC can second, that a small bubble. Then deny them that same privilege day. Pay attention, no. Then deny them that privilege day. They say they do by election day. And they do the by election severally because they force forget a desired result. For my SLPP win it. They're not able to win it, then cancel them. They're not win it, then cancel them. 10 to 3 times. Before finally they give up on that. Then we see the census. We know one day get midterm census in Sierra Leone. All them things that are not so accidents, my dear brother. Past is people they fool. This
Absolutely.
was by design.
Absolutely. You are absolutely right. Ladies and gentlemen, we other guests just don't join we, but unfortunately he don't disappear again. Hopefully he will join us soon. Back to you, Imran. If I can just take a quick break, because this is getting heated up, it's getting very interesting, and you're making quite a good point. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not the TNN TV Media Empire. Please do not touch that dial as we get more they come in. Luckily for we, the second guest don't join, but stay put. Don't go anywhere. Help for share. Ladies and gentlemen, once more, welcome to the TNN TV Media Empire platform. Today, on the 23rd of April, 2023, we are talking about very important issues pertaining to a country, and especially one we can forget impact in many, many decades to come. Post June 24. So these are very serious issues that we will talk about, and please feel free for put your comments. So far, we not get a very large body of people watching, but at least 74, 75 Sierra Leoneans and counting and going up probably at the end of the program. But we know say after the program, it can end up for be say thousand people and watch the program. Just that this is the live version. Having said this, we will talk about Dr. Kandeh the NGC, and the Progressive Alliance. We don't broke down within a Progressive Alliance. And for go form a Progressive Alliance with somebody, like the guest say, Imran T say, there has to be some compatibility. Una get for be like minds, yes, so una come together for the common good, for change the trajectory into which the country they go. And then people learn a book, people them are supposedly, so they're able for explain that thing to we better one. But in this case, it doesn't seem so. Because after all, with the little book where we sabi, we know say and understand the definition of progressive. We know say we understand the definition of an alliance. So if you go into an alliance, a progressive one with somebody else, it means say una all two they see the same side and una they look for the greater good of a particular entity. And in this case, it's the people. For understand this, we get Imran to reign at the platform. Imran, I want to we journey back a little bit about Dr. Kandeh how he burst into the scene briefly in small chamot with the SLPP, and then in journey outside, and then before we come back to in journey inside. But before I do that, let's play one tape quickly for the audience, if we will, please.
We get confusion now with party now. If we solve the problem, we go see a can out green clothes. If we solve the problem. But if we not solve the problem, I'll get for the other thing, not to so. Now good leader now. Whether I wear red or I wear green, now good leader on one. Me, God make I work with Ahmed Tijanka, but better one. God make I can work with Anes Kuruma, better one.
So again, Fambulem, done just a short clip of Dr. Kandeh Yumkela, which vindicates me guest because it don't say I'm all along. But if person they talk fast and person they make sabi talk, we sometimes not a catch up within that person they say. But if we not listen to that tape they keenly, this was about me. This wasn't about a structure. This wasn't something about some reform program or project, for change the landscape of it's me. I don't do this. I don't do that. I don't work with this. I don't talk with that. So it has to be, me. And you can also see, if you listen to both this tape and other tape them, that there is a streak of opportunism in the voice of Dr. Kandeh. And it seemed for the try for exploit some weakness. Unfortunately, it did not work. Imran, your thoughts, please.
Media brother, it is so, Malek, we've been talking from the beginning. We say this man, the progressive way they talk about, it is rather destructive. He not gets the country interest at heart, all he think about is himself. What did he explain there? Let me dissect me, brother. He say, he not gets what he wants, so in the go.
Yeah.
When you not get what you want, if something is wrong in your party, you they fix them. If you're a man, you they take them head on. This is where reform they take place. You they do a challenge. You go even do a leadership challenge, or you go be one of the people where go facilitate change, and you go advocate for change. You go campaign with other people like minds for let you fight and change the system within the party. But the man run. He not get what he wants, he run. People can talk for say he left. No, they lock and do. Because we see where he come in, they not the most, they say no, people. Till like that, if not the man were progressive, he should have gone to court. With good judiciary or not, he should have still gone to court for making it on record say he attempts or challenge the system. He should have used everything within the judiciary and within the SLPP party for let it fight what is wrong in the party. He didn't. He left not because of principle, now because he not get what he wants. And he make it clear. He say, if I get what I want, he not clarify what he wants. When I go see, I come back. And when he come back, he not tell me what in gear. Because he not tell me why he left in the first place. So, you know, the whole thing funny because when you look at even the picture, the background, he smile. That smile we call hyena smile. Hyena is one of the most treacherous animals in the bush. You know, a body language show a lot of hyena mannerism. Hyena not they work hard. Hyena they pot. Hyena a scavenger. Hyena no innovative in them thinking and progressive. You got to be innovative. You got to be person where they convince. And even when he cannot the opposition, Kandeh never worked with the opposition. Rather than him, na the architect, went rip the opposition. This is what I have against him. You came into the opposition. You're not the smallest minority. You get 8 C4C. You get 59 APC, 58, I think, SLPP. Then you get 4 NGC. Then you get 3 independent. You cannot, you talk for say, you're not constructive opposition. Now you dictate which kind of opposition. No. When you come as opposition, the very first thing you forget a meeting. You get consultation with the opposition because you are on that side of the bench. Because politics is about the bench. You are on the opposition bench. So your first call, now forget a thorough discussion with the other oppositions them. For let una know, usa una agree and usa una disagree. For make una go make a proper opposition team against the government. He never allowed that to happen. He undermined APC all the way. He not allow APC to be a good opposition. Because when you're not opposition, the other opposition, they fed you, they talk for say you want constructive opposition. You voted for Ben Kefala. You voted for the how you call yourself, you voted for the Electoral Commissioner. You voted for everything where APC go against, where the other oppositions then go against. Then it clearly shows say you are not there to oppose. That is your fundamental job. For make sure say the government keep them promises. For make sure say the government keep waiting and talk for say they go do.
Yeah, but Imran, if I can just take you on this quickly, push back a little bit. They're all now opposition inside parliament, and inside parliament there is a lot of deals, that ongoing inside parliament, depending on how one sees it. Yes, another party can oppose to waiting governments they try for do, but not necessarily means say the other party for side with them, except there is a deal between them, but not necessarily say, well, we all together for deal on the same side on this particular thing for go against government. So this is not something
if you listen to what I said, it's about trade. The very first thing you get to know your position, which Kandeh did not show. He not know a position. From the beginning, he not ever worked with the other opposition them. The man they asked for saying I'm the biggest opposition. He only gets 4 people there. If they ask for saying now informate the terms. Now the opposition, well, not to informate the terms, because that's not how you do a coalition. Even where he say they do a coalition to start with, he is a very minor member in this coalition within Yamada Bio. He not gets no say. So when they talk for say they do a coalition, now 4 members they no more get. This man has 0.0000. So which strength you get for make you able for convince Madabio for do what you want?
I think, Imran, you make a good point right there, and I want to ask further on that point the way you make, which brings me to the issue of motive. Because yes, if you don't have the numbers, we know say in negotiation or a partnership, there is a weaker side and a stronger side. In this case, you don't even need for Robbie very much. The presidency or the government is the far stronger side. And to many people, it seems like na off ramp, now the president offered Dr. Kandeh. Because to many people, as we read out there, Dr. Kandeh was toast. Politically, he was kind of done. And I want to go to a background, since you talk about parliament, Dr. Kandeh in parliament. Yes, we all hear read this about Dr. Kandeh inside parliament, and at some point, Dr. Kandeh became the black sheep inside parliament and was extracted from all the AFAF committee then. And Dr. Kandeh did go into a meltdown and start doing social media interviews. This is why in that audio, that video I play, you hear him say, if offer come on any side, because, they paraphrase that now, if offer were to come from any side, he willing for work with any side. So I want to let you look deep into what happened. Was it an issue of non-commitment, non-sincerity when he left Igona and a COP? Because there was also another entity called COP. What really happened, in a COP?
To be honest, between me and you two, he was not enthusiastic about COP. Now, Dennis Bright and other, the real progressivism.
Are you saying, Imran, because this is my point, bigger points I've been trying to make, where I want to ask, then in this union, in this alliance, since in the weaker side, and we are yet to see waiting for happen for him, because he's not going to be the president on top of Madabio. Neither will he be the vice president, because the president don't already endorse a vice president for the second term. What else is he going to be? So what's the motive in this alliance other than waiting until we don't scatter? So being progressive, which there is no, connection there. We haven't seen it. Waiting else will be the motive.
Well, now because in no say, the line where it don't take, but there is something I get for doing digression here.
Please
do. A lot of people don't know. Where NGC be formed, they say now grand coalition. It was never grand. It was never grand. Because the reason where it come out today, not because it gets an ideology, not because it was principle, now because of self. He was bitter and he not gets what he wants, so he want to make noise, make them go notice him. When he come out, he begin to make the noise. You remember the first visit where Madabio make na United Nations. Now he go to Madabio because now he sabi them. This, that. So if they go well for them, they make them a lot of put them chair, a lot of committee. But later on, you can't find out for say, be they get as if they give. So they get it for last, where they pull them for all them thing and they. Then if NDC they even complain say they not even get a motokal if you complete them. Anyway, what thing we talk about Naya is the man where the entire all done they happen. You will find out for say the man in intention from day one. Now for go back now SLPP as he talk about that video. But now if he feels to say if he gets a chance, but he can quickly realize for say a chance is the order evaporate. And now in order to think about being president now, it think about how you call himself that for review his position and reposition himself for 2028 for making go be the flag bearer. This is what he's working on. Some of us they look far ahead. But the problem is there are quite a lot of people then at SLPP will not go ever forgive him for how he acted and how he behaved, where he left enough faith. Because you get the traditional hardline member they will not join PAOPA and neither they not join NGC. They would not go to bed with him. Not now, not ever. So the man, whatever he do, he don't lose credence. He don't lose him with the conservative SLPP. He don't get respect with the PAOPA. But the PAOPA desperate for staying in power. Then they feel to say, this man go help him, forget enough. But this man don't get any credence not enough. He has lost that entirely. I doubt if he would win even in your own seat. I doubt it very much. Because all of a sudden, people they don't know for say, Kandeh Yomkela na second there. And I don't see no way how chicken then go vote for Sekbende. If you vote for Sekbende, it's like a turkey voting for Christmas. They're not going to vote for him. If I were him, if I just cut the losses and go in peace and with respect, because right now it's a liability, not to asset, to anybody, not to himself, not to SLPP, and Madabio likewise is not an asset to SLPP and to the electorate. But you see, Madabio has been very successful for bringing about Mende nationalism. And this is a very dangerous time for the country. Me know very well, a person born in Moyamba, grew up in Abo, there are huge majority of good Mende people. Like in any tribe, you get good, you get bad. But you get some misguided Mende people, and we don't really buy this Mende hegemony, Mende nationalism. So man they talk for say, no matter how we ugly, that even if he bad, na my brother. And anybody in a right mind, Jesus make it clear to us, do to others as you like them do unto you. I want to put unto those that are doing the Mende hegemony. If na una pikin them be kill na Makeni, na una pikin them kill na Pandeba Road, Tonko, and 91, and Chombo, would you have supported Madabio? The answer will be no. So, they say, love your neighbor as thyself. When I say love your neighbor, it don't mean to say, for let you like you compliment them, man. No. When I say love your neighbor, now those that are close to you. So if you're not Mende, you get for love Chimi. If you're not Limba, you get for love Mende. If you're not Mende, you get for love Kono. So your neighbor, now the other tribes them. But you get people there now, whether not APC and SLPP, because of this kind of politics when Madabio don't brew. You find out for say, even when they kill that policeman and Makeni, which pains me, I see northern people and they gladly, that means that now we are care. This is what Madabio has turned our country into. And now this, I really wonder we talk about. Now you're not the governor, now you hold the steering wheel. But you see, with society done so polarized, Madabio don't so polarize this society to an extent, people are not see reason anymore. And the people are not see reason, now we the electorate, now we partisans, the politicians are not. If you notice, all the stakeholders, they are quiet. Because then they're in the stratosphere. The stratosphere, outside these big boys are, we don't infiltrate everything down below. They are sealed. Their lips are sealed. I'm not going to call name, but we know them. All of them. Starting from the pastor them, the bishop them, the reverend them, the imam them, the alaji them, they are all civil society them. When I can see that boy, what they call Mambu, we can call him Babu. He can't him up to talk. Me are United Nations accredited. When you are a civil society activist, your interest first is public interest.
Okay, Imran, no left Mambu. We go bring Mambu, here up for another day. And another downplay is very, very important because
I just want to let people and see what they play here. The polarization when Madabio don't polarize the society. And
absolutely. And Dr. Kandeh, they join us as a progressive.
Kandeh was really progressive. He should have been the vehicle when they challenged Madabio about this polarization. Not that he doesn't know, he has spoken about it. But why do you want to join somebody with the totally on the opposite side on things that you don't talk about?
So hence why I ask you about the motive, because the weaker side is now joining the inner side, but some people are not make comments on that already. I mean, the Sierra Leonean people are not adjudicate already that for political reasons, for selfish reasons, and you name it, more and more and more. Imran, I wonder we play a little bit of a mind game small and go into the brain of the NGC. Okay. The impression where the NGCians, the Mingiwi, of course, some were innocent, but some were complicit. Some know the truth, some not be know the truth. Then just follow, the crowd and that emergency boss with Dr. Kandeh boss into the scene. Some of it, being got to do with sympathy in the way he was treated, now in party of origin. So many people then flock to him. But other people let me believe, say, bing, this is not the change candidate, although time is proving us wrong. But the NGC been giving an impression of as if all is well, as if it is a strong, viable, powerful political party, that they are decent, civilized, and not only Alusane and Alassane, they involved by all kind of raucous and ad hominem and curse and insults and etc. But we are beginning to learn different things now on media. Some of them has been verified, like assaults taking place within, the NGC itself on executive membership and other things. Them. I wonder whether you don't hear the same, but generally, waiting at your impression about this entity called NGC.
So start with the way how the man handled the whole thing. You go on an alliance with somebody, you forget consultation with your membership first. He did not consult adequately with fellow membership. He didn't. And it was like shocking to them. For many years, say they don't make a decision, it will come back to them very soon. But to start with, before you go to that consultation with Madabiu, were you dispatched to do it? Did they ask you to go represent them there, or did you? These are the questions we need to ask. But from waiting mediary and waiting at the understand, he not be clear waiting if be up to. Because the NGC itself, it divided into the surrogate SLPP them, where most of them left after the elections and then go with the deputy leader, Winner Andrew Kelly. After the election, lots of them go back to SLPP. And these were very vocal people. They left, go back to SLPP. Then you'll be left with the genuine progressives. Genuine progressive na NGC, I go call some names. You go talk about Dr. Davis, you go talk about Alan Luke, you go talk about Mr. Wise, you go talk about some people then. And then people then, they resign. They don't make them position hidden. They come out clearly. So, oh, hell no. We are not going to accept a one-man show. You've been doing this. We've been putting up with this just for that we hold things together. But you have pushed it to an extent we are not going to accept this any longer. And people came out and condemned. And at that time, the man came out and show a true color where he talks here. How hell when I get the mind for can't ask me, say I can't tell you now what I go talk. I'm not obligated for telling you nothing. One of a small picking there. What's in big man at the top, picking a one for Yeri. He said some words them were very, very, very derogatory. And oh God, they were not pleasant. And if you say you're not a Democrat or a progressive should bring it to the people and say, okay, una want for no, sorry, not be don't bring una into the picture fully. Sorry, una angry, but please, I have not made any decision yet. But the behavior where it should say if you don't make full decision for go, it regardless what you even think. So the people have resigned. And that should say, then when they were resigned, they were the only progressives in that group. So you go find out for say people like Theophilus, Bashiru Vandi them, where still because Bashiru Vandi, any sentence where he make like for say something derogatory about APC, he not even get a concept of what he mean by politics. And likewise, million not get a concept because the other day I be challenge the wisdom of them for do registration in first month. He said me don't be political. Last year, of course, I am political. He doesn't even know the meaning of politics. So
let me listen, Imran, to one more. Let me listen to one more tip and then let's take it from there.
I'm not gonna waste me temper, I'm not gonna waste me soap.
Keep doing for 5 years. In fact, the term of the executive has expired. It's every 2 years. They're there 5 years. Now they're going to conduct elections to elect themselves into perpetuity. And they tell you, hey, in 2023, we did it back. The whole lineup. Are you proud of SFPP right now? No. Are you proud of this executive? No. We love the party, but the leadership is bad. And there's no sign that it will change. Prince Hadi is going to be chairman, that's my prediction. Abbas, the famous Abbas Bundu, you know what I mean by that, is going to be the Secretary General. They're going to do their coronation in Kenema, and you don't dare oppose. And they've said it. Even in 2023, will they continue? That's what Paupa means. Paupa means we hold on for 10 years. Win or loss. My dear brothers and sisters, I did not go home to fight for flag bearer of SLPP.
Yes, sir.
I went home to be the president to transform the country.
There you go.
To work for the unemployed youth.
Yes, sir.
Not to be in a party where we're fighting each other 24/7.
Yes, sir.
No.
Yes, sir.
For some people, you have to understand why. This is their life and death. Some Monday, if not to flag bearer, if you not hold small office by proxy, now that party day, they know they invite and set for dinner. So in identity, in existence, now for hold that position. In not to get what they eat.
Okay, Imran, obviously it's a bit of a length there. Maybe we'll play the other half. But just looking at the video and watching the dear doctor, here speaking, it make it clear. It turned out for become the president for change the course of history, the way our politics they go on in Sierra Leone.
Yes.
And he makes some predictions, some bold predictions, and most of them they look like they're still in place, intact. But yet still, 5 years on, this man is transforming, going to the party which is just described and largely very correct, and talking about a progressive alliance. But broke this down for we, but we know say you know man, we shall be broke that kind of thing.
Me brother, honestly, this man, he brainless, he tactless, he classless, he characterless, everything where he gets less. The only thing where he gets a high propensity now for praising self because he's a Yeliba. Me man, when you look at that audio day, he talk for say, all right, this party na power, everything are by force. They're not democratic in them practices. Then they vote people them, not because of their ability, not because of them proxy games they when they play for stay in power. He say, and you're not ready for change. So if you never go join them now, what has changed? Rather, the man don't even go further in the transgressions. Because Madabio, all what they do now for transgress, violate, abuse people them. And it speaks for itself. The man is full of reproach. Then now, you don't say all of them things they are. And the notorious criminal called Abbas Bundu, he spoke about him. And Abbas Bundu is part of the nucleus of the pauper ideology. He was haunted. Marabio haunted for him. That man, they don't kill more people than the mosquito in another country. Because malaria is the biggest killer in West Africa. But Abbas Bundu don't kill more than man than pass mosquito in Sierra Leone. Because most of the killing where the rebel do, Abbas Bundu help for to pretend them. Because now him na the ECOWAS chairman. They can't tell us say they want peace. he not report back to the people away for make peace. Red Cross also passed information, he not facilitate that because at that time, them it be the mine illegally, it be the benefits directly, and he West be get a contract for supply logistics to the ECOMOG troops, you know. So he not report back. And at that time, the rebel and so they escalate, they begin to chop people their hand. So he has something to say about that. So Kandeh know all these things. He know these guys are nasty. And you don't get even nastier. Look at the other day where a young lady where I just fell in love for. See the courage where he show. Because the Quran make that clear. Say anybody when a good Muslim, you should never stand and watch. Then they persecute the poor, the weak. You keep your mouth shut. You should speak against them kind of abuses they are, where they're very unholy. God frowned against that. It did back now Deuteronomy. It did back now Leviticus. That now the Bible say God wants for them we treat people and with less privilege. You see, when you can have politics, it's not about helping the strong. It's about what you do to make life better for those that are underprivileged, those that are not able to provide for themselves. It's how you improve their quality of life. That is what makes you a prudent leader. But this man can, even the rights for the people to express themselves. I want to elaborate on this right, the right for protest. When you start your life, the very first thing where a child will learn is for protest. Anytime we see a baby cry, it is protest for something, either angry or in a pidon soak. So protest is a fundamental, inalienable right. Now a right not negotiable. You know then we earn. So what are the improvements where Kandeh Yomkela don't see? We make now is the right time for him to join. Kandeh Yomkela not go tell we for say in our study book for able to comprehend the failures them in this government. But he don't agree say this is the right time for go join. I go put onto you. Academia not make anybody intelligent. You can be academic. You can be academic and still be an idiot.
Absolutely.
Now, Kandeh don't show we say he's academic, but he's an idiot because there is nothing there where I see don't improve my SLPP. Rather, SLPP don't worse with the transgression against the people of Sierra Leone. And if you are a progressive, you should be the number one person where they kick against them thing they are. It should be in court challenging the government. It should even bring international lawyers them instead he gets in contact. Why has he not done that? Why has he not gone to the ECOWAS? But rather, they don't press the sheets for him. They don't decide for be the concubine to mother you.
So, in continuation of the mind game, let me ask you this again, going inside the mindset of both the president, not even the president, but particularly Dr. Kandeh. Waiting day na this deal for Dr. Kandeh. I know say earlier on you talk about a potential presidency 2028, possibly, but there's no guarantee around that. But in the now, looking at the past, of course, there was a degree of arrogance around Dr. Kandeh, and this is prevalent for many people, and we doctor them. We don't hold higher positions and things like that. We not be appear like he even want to work with the president as an underling. So in other words, the flag bearer in the presidency was his target. Nothing really wrong with that, but 5 years on, it take a position where not even the number 2 is going to get. And what he potentially could constitute the number 3, or whose kind of position will President Bio, because this is an executive presidency, go make for him? I mean, take me through possibilities.
Hey, brother, I've been a person whether they do short-termism. Kandeh Yomkela is in this because they don't promise and say, if you swallow your pride and be a good boy, I can make anything happen, mina paupa. Whether SLPP wants it or not, I will make you be the next flag bearer. I will go all out for make that happen. Just stand by me, let I win this thing here. But waiting, them both they fail for realize. One, can they not get the clout anymore? He not get the following. Then Marabi Yosef not get the following. But then they hope, because then two people there, they don't care. Because this next election is not about free and fair. It's about horrible and fearful elections. Now ain't about for unfold. And the one for get them through force. So they don't confuse and say everything is in the bag. And really and truly, this is the most unequal elections ever in the history of Sierra Leone. Because if you look at the election, they don't do everything for Reagan. It's already rigged. Provided if APC not come to the realization that's what has happened and then prepare for rigging. Because as they see APC self not wise enough, then they prepare for free and fear. You cannot prepare for free and fear when the person when in government, when I in control everything, they prepare for rig. You get for make arrangements for counter the rigging. I do not see any arrangement on that yet. Anyway, so he not agree with that. Kandeh don't agree fully. Say, all right, if this is the case, I will work with you. I will put me little repetition when he not get any left anyway. So really right now, the whole game is Kandeh has nothing to lose. No, all man no say not get integrity anymore. All man no say not sabi politics. All man no say not so Cuba. No matter what you do, you put a near by your side, say you know go have a life of life. You know? So all man no for say na hyena or scavenger. So now it don't kind of really scavenge for see what he go able for gather for any other for that day we go come where this man don't promise him. But when you look at the history of the person who they talk about, he has betrayed everybody who work with him. He betrayed Strasser. He has betrayed everybody who work with him. So give me 3 reasons why he not go betray Kandeh. So Kandeh is not a smart guy at all, you know, because if you go make arrangements with the devil or with a snake, be prepared. He go bet you. So why do you want to take that risk? You know, so really and truly, Kandeh is not doing this because of XYZ. He's only doing it because they don't promise and say, I will make you take next. And the issue where Madam you don't show to Salon people them. And that's not fact. And honestly, there is no politician in Sierra Leone will determine which Madabio. Madabio wants anything, he gets it. He doesn't care who stands in front of him. He doesn't care what the people think. He doesn't care who he hurts. He will go for it. And he not agree say Madabio go bulldoze like how he bulldoze, which Kandeh Yonkela clearly break down for we on that video. He said the man of follow the processes that the SLPP for them they elect people. The same people and they just show up. They just repeat the same thing over and over. And now that repetition, they don't agree with now. And if they condemn him, it's not a condemn him anymore. It has become part of it now. It don't become a supporter of the very process where they condemn. So it don't come now for putting them in a strategic position. Say, now in and go give the baton for run the next relay. This is the whole reason. But what did they fail for realize? The hardline SLPP, where they on the right of the party, would never accept Kandeh Yonkela. And that is fact. I hear them. They're not going to ever accept them. But the power for them go accept them for convenience sake because they want for CC and get a broad spectrum for the international community say Kandeh Yonkela they with we. Because you see, Kandeh Yonkela, they try for make like for say he's an international person. Kandeh Yonkela a organization where they run UNIDO not a big time organization of the United Nations. The big time developmental organization were attached to the United Nations are UNDP.
Well, at least UNIDO is still global and it's still an arm. Of course, you get
No.
organization.
They do, you know, like when they talk about petty cash, not to the amount, not to the, not to the, that is the petty cash of development.
Imran, now we listen to this. Let's take you outside of Dr. Kandeh Lily bit, but within the same government. But there is a connection there because it's the same government, and the government don't tell people and some things them we turn out not for be true 5 years on. Yet Dr. Kandeh still. Yeah, go on.
You agree with me? Say you never compare UNIDO and UNDP.
Well, now that's been the try for say it's still an organization of prominence. It's still an arm of the United Nations, but then you get by hierarchy. Once then we higher and higher and higher. So yes, in that regard. But
well, the man when are the director for UNDP, now in a the Rottweiler, now in a the Alsatian, now in for about not to the Chihuahua the back. These are the Chihuahua you know. Me,
okay.
This that. You know.
Imran, watch this tape. Watch this tape, and tell me what you make of this tape.
In the next 5 years, Badina self go file a free term. Light go in a year, water go in a year, bridge go in a year, road go in a year, school go in a year, light go in a year, all man go school, all man go get work, the girl picking them go work, the boy picking them go work, the mommy them go work, water go come, light go come, everything go in a year. So I want to know thank you. I want to know say the SLPP government now talk and do government. When they talk, they do it. When we say they bring free education, we bring free education. When we say they pay school bus, we pay school bus. When we say I don't say we bring watana ya, light go kaya, road go kaya, bridge go kaya, school go there ya. Secondary school go there, work go there for una. The girl picking them go work, the boy picking them go work, and the mama they say go cook for you all go there. So I want to tell you thank you. I want to know say me and my brother, me and Julie Jallo from Robis village, Kafubulom chiefdom, me and Bulamite, and Paupa Kafubulom most better. When I don't say now 190 chiefdom salon, the Kafubulom no get vice president, and the 190 chiefdom. So we have all the vice president better. We have all out to one. Because of our brother, because of our uncle, because of our daddy, because of our pikin, because they do na naya, because wale una say better. So I want to tell you thank you, Madina. I will carry you back. If you God agree, December I will carry you back. December welcome. We go work.
Imran, the word that this is really interesting, and this is 5 years on. I mean, we talk about less than 2 months for go to the end of a 5-year mandate. But this was the vice president then making all the out of this world promises inside 5 years. But then the interesting part about the video is how vulnerable our people are. Some of our people, how fickle-minded they are. Hence why politicians, they're able for the run rings around we all of the time by divide and rule. But looking at the video, Imran, your thoughts, please.
My brother, I don't think the people in the club for me, they see the people in the laugh because the whole thing, the man is comedy. The man is comedy, so they do. The man is comedian. But can you imagine? But the good thing about it, this don't make it clear now. Say these elections, we can't know the Christmas and by who are the people and vote for. Whosoever votes for this SLPP, now Christmas. Now we can officially get the census for know the Christmas in our country. Look at the man. Man will go to school, will get PhD. Now they behave like an idiot. If they talk like for say money, they grow on trees. we get a country where the economy don't fail. You not talk about how then go try for put things them together for make life better for the people them. But rather, if they can't give the people them promises what the people them know very well, say he not go ever able to achieve. He just make a fool of himself. But the question is, now the kind of people them what we go want for they in charge of the country in the next 5 years. There is something where I'll need for talk about where I go beg you let you be understanding.
Go ahead, please.
You know, with country, things be done bad in the past, so bad that now the criminality starts where they corrupt every system in the country. Where even the brigadier of we armed forces now be member of parliament, the paramount chief then they bring a kind of parliament, even the labor union leader then a parliament, even students union member them bring them a parliament during checking time. But we be done past day after the war, we recalibrate. You know, Kaba get the pluses, he get the minuses. But yes, at that time, he keep an eye on the ball for the best interest of everybody. We try to get a program. We try to get a focus. For that, we try to build a democratic country. He did his best. And Ernest can continue from where he stopped. When they tried for democratize the country, it not be perfect, but we were gradually going towards that direction. Now we get somebody who promised we change for can make them better. The change what he promised, he changed the change. Immediately when he can now he changed the change. And the change what he changed, it they go back now the very direction where we be done they go way bad with steroids. 3 times worse past how we be talent. And now we are more corrupted. We don't get chronic problem. The problem not acute anymore. It is now chronic. And when you see the situation as chronic as that, this is a serious situation in the country they show. Then we get a vice president. Man will get PhD. Believe you me, if they offer me scholarship for do PhD, I don't want it. PhD is a laughing matter now in the country. Fatima Bio, you see in the game, honorary PhD. What thing he don't do where he excel in? When he go give him honorary PhD for now University of Sierra Leone. You know, we see a academic where it be students. Effect, yeah, God, all the this is what bad politics don't do now in the country. They don't disenfranchise all the good people them out of politics. They don't lock them outside. Person like Jimmy Kandeh, Professor Kandeh. The man spoke on an issue where he gets so much expertise in. The man of humanities he studied, he get PhD. He make a very salient point. And now people like them one and the politicians then for the talk to, for them create the policies then where they work. The man says something before they invite an state house, for let he go write a project for the government on how they for comport themselves and make them change the possibilities for the weak, the disabled, the one them way not educated and 19 and they for them will strengthen our society. The man then Saka and other academic they all at the time of the stratosphere. They are there. And all those that are up there benefiting from the government. At the time that Sierra Leone is still feudal. They don't pick them all. They don't, anyone will behave. They make you see people like Mahmoud and they can't libel, they can't talk in favor. Because they want to be transported to the stratosphere. When you go to the stratosphere, you know they condemn again, oh, you are part of it. You they eat that golden bull pan where it gets creatures great and small. The oil that the plastas, in the sidom chain, the cannon at your elbow. When they get at that level, they're not a complaint. This is how bad it is. But we get a lot of Jimmy Kandeh out there. They've been locked out. Now we get a judiciary when at the criminal they sit down at the bench, where they jail the righteous. Now we get policemen them where they arrest the righteous. Now we get the press. They don't whip them all to the stratosphere. They don't set them out. They don't say nothing. The parliamentarian them, but come on, Sierra Leone is so unequal. You only get one group where the money is pegged to the dollar. If you go to Sierra Leone right now, you get £100. When you reach, you change them, not spend penny. After 1 week, you want to turn back to England, you try to change that £100 back to pounds. You will be lucky if you get £60 back.
Okay,
because
Imran,
the money they devalue every second. So the point why they try to make Naya is, them guys they don't capture the country. It's a total capture. We really get for rebel and do a proper struggle against them. Because if not, there is no hope. Kandeh has jumped ship. He has been whisked to the stratosphere. You know? And how many more are waiting to be whisked at the stratosphere? When they're
okay,
their money pegged to the dollar. While we Naya down here, I send money to my family every month. Every month where I send them, the money they change. You know,
Imran, we quickly they run out of time. We get a couple of minutes left. I mean, so we program can find. We're not going to know how the clock they tick and how long we don't really spend. But it's been a brilliant program, and I must say, the viewers them has been marvelous. I mean, a contribution, and this is what we are looking for. We need for express we emotions, we feelings about we country, and trust me, we've not been short of it today. And a lot, as you say, you get a lot of fans. You know, they say you get baby and all on side, picking, girl picking on side. They don't put on a giant one. I hope say you know they're in trouble of some kind with the. Anyway, Sister Muna.
This is the politics we do in Sierra Leone. Once you come out, you speak. We the electorate wait for see the reality. Now we partisan, but the politicians are not partisan. And then at the stratosphere.
Absolutely, Lord. Just a quick one again, Fambulem. I just want to say thank you to Una very much, Sister Memuna to Muna Barry, who is also a friend of this platform. I haven't seen you in a while, and I see one comment where you put where you say today na me politics. Me not the politics Sunday. We can't give up, sister. This politics now 7 days a week. You know, yeah, we get for fast and pray. But it's good to see you, Fambulem. Just a quick information as well. Imran will be on the program tomorrow. He will be hosting the program. I just want to let Una know. And this is about elections in 2023. So we got a program on this platform what we call the ballot, voting in the ballot. And 2023, the elections, something around that. So Imran will be hosting the program tomorrow. Please spread the word. And Una not forget for join the program. It's going to be 8 p.m. tomorrow night. It's going to be interesting. And you know Imran, so don't forget to share. Don't forget to join. Imran, I'll play the last video for you for we guest there tonight, and let me see what you make of it. So I believe this video, Imran, you know, yeah, na gladi Pandi convention, USAI, the NGC and the APC, SLPP go unveil this progressive alliance. So there are a number of people and they we sort of really glady. And if you are like a typical Sunday in a church, you know, yeah, for work up the emotion of the congregation, you always hear the bata, the drum, the jingles, and what have you, and then the pitch get louder and people get consumed. But this was the event, I believe. Your thoughts again, please, Imran.
Hey, brother, I don't know if you pay attention. First, let me talk about quantity. Now, only 2 people that see wear yellow. In the crowd. Only 2 people that wear yellow. And look at the body language. You will see for say Kandeh is dreadfully uncomfortable. Dreadfully uncomfortable. Now Mother Bio gets 2 wives, 1 male, 1 female. You know, this is a marriage of, you know, low taste. Very low taste. You know, I can tell people them, you they tell the pedigree of your friendship with anybody, not so based on where things are honky dory, when things are sweet. True friends, you don't know them where things go wrong, how they behave. True friends, you don't know them where things difficult, the position where they stand. You dey even hear a great man like Martin Luther of America, a civil rights activist. He's a much man in character. You didn't know him, the position where he stands, not so where inconvenience, not where inconvenience is then they. Who say you the team up? Now they know much man when a sober person. At a time like this, where we get president, where they kill people anyhow. Even 1977, when they say Shekina, the worst despot we don't get now in country. During that, no school, no college. Now two people in then kill. Marabio, in your protest when they went against her, he killed past 27 people then. And he comes back afterwards, he go in the lynch people then. And now one thing where I want to correct to Sierra Leone, and then they talk about the assassinate. You know the assassinate person, we're not a religious leader or a political leader. Now murder them, they lynch them. They not assassinate them. You know they assassinate ordinary person. You know, but unfortunately, with all the murders there, where they take place, all them killings there, all them transgressions there, all the abuses there.
Yeah.
Is this the right time for Kandeh for do this alliance? Then he can't him up now in public. It is very painful for people that would not lost them picking them. For see Kandeh, they sit down there, they dance with the killer. So now make a tell Salon people then two people there and a second there when I see them when I run. And when I always see how fallen they run when they see second there.
So Ibrahim, I not caught you in mid flow, but not just an addendum to what you say as contributed by a member of the View in Public, B. Leon, which they na the screen right now. He says watching the videos of KKY, which I played, made him to laugh, his head out, and looking at Julde's video makes him even worried. By watching the video of these guys, you clearly see how these politicians, liars, are exploiting the vulnerability of our people, who often clap, shout, and dance, for lies these guys tell them. I feel sorry for my people and angry towards those who deliberately deceive our people. Time will tell someday. You see, you begin with a pessimistic note, but end with an optimistic note, and this is what we want to see, that we should not give up. It's a change, not the only constant, my brother. And it has to be repetitive. It has to be sequential. Imran, carry on, please.
Well, as the man talk, rightfully so, because change nothing was deliberate. We got for one time, we got to make deliberate actions then for that we achieve that change day. Because right now, when you look at things are not good. Things are not good. But people can be unfair on with Sierra Leonean people. You see, it's very difficult for you able to make certain decisions than where you pull. Poverty na a cause. Where you pull, you are desperate. You live from hand to mouth. And when you're in them positions, then you can take back. If you go back to Julius Caesar, why you feel the same Mark Antony choose for top class? Because for say the plebeians them, they were poor, they were ordinary peasants. And when you're in them positions, then you then say, hey, that don't mean that they support you. Because we're brutal.
So Imran, I want you pause there again because we've got another contribution. This other contribution seems run counter to other previous contribution there, and it sounds very interesting, and I want to let you dive into it. So this person, in the name of Mohammed Soni, I hope I pronounce that well, Soni or Soni. APC wants KKY to partner with them to remove murder, but allow their social media propagandists to abuse his mother for 24 hours. This is the result. And mind you, APC KKY got over 100,000 votes in the past election, 95% of it from his Sosu people from Cambia. So APC, just forget about Cambia because SLPP also has about 30 votes there. And now they are combining with NGC. Yagodu? Question mark. Why worry yourself, APC, when Adebayo has told you people that even if Mada be the commissioner, he will, and not get the last part. But you get the gist. A man will understand the politics, the demography, the dynamics, the numbers, the constituents, and the constituency. Your thoughts?
No, now way people like in talk about propaganda. The politics is so polarized to an extent that people not even look at facts. Because all of a sudden now, the people that they perpetrate tribalism, now then they blame everybody else to be tribalistic. The people them where they cause mamikos, then they know they cause again APC they cause mamikos. Now one thing, I will not do a series on the culture of mamikos na Sierra Leone and origin of mamikos na Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone gets the culture of mamikos. If you go in the line, where you the coco na net, all them in the mamil and the common do them cause mamikos. If there is eclipse of the sun, then they nab them both cover and they cause mamikos. And that is across the whole of Sierra Leone. And whether they talk say SL people know they cause mamikos, that is not the experience I have. The wonderful social media blogger, when I'm in Paddy, Kutubu Koroma, it cost me mama. Me not cause mama back. Me not a man.
So okay, so what do you make with this commentator where he say he give figures in the as to how he thinks the elections will play out?
Understand the politics of Sierra Leone. When can they come? When people let me get hope in them, let me get belief in them. Now they vote for that vote today. That belief day, that hope day, it don't fast evaporate. The man would hardly win, even in your constituency. I come from Kandeh. I get me papa, me mama, me papa and mama side, na Samu, of which Camp Soria, my grandfather was the chief there. Then on the other side of the river, Rokupur, where NGC win the seats there, now let me that this side come out, Makatik Turea. So I understand that area there, 20 times past that person there, because the person named Sony. That's
so we go,
definitely nice.
So we go left hand. We go left hand.
The politics of Gambia district.
So Imran, we go left hand at that. I think that's enough that you understand the politics far past Sonny. Even though Sonny might disagree. Daniel Palm Lenore. He say, after all these promises and no tangibles, these people still have a face to go in front of the people and ask for another 5 years. I love this very much. And this is and the audacity where we can talk about, where they expose, where they can label we. Exactly. I mean, you got a call in this kind of 5 years, waiting happen.
Well, Sony is very partisan. That's why Sony will not see this. Sony has bought into the Mende hegemony. All the Mende hegemony said, that's what they talk. I speak to very balanced, intelligent, clever, exposed Mende Mandel. They are not supporting this notion. They believe, say, we are all one people. And they believe in the principle of one people, one country. And they're not going to sit down and see Madabio can polarize us in a tribal line. Where most of you, me where sit down here, one of my favorite niece, now Mende mama married my sister. And the Mende mama married my sister. In mama na timidi. Can you imagine that?
Lucretia Benzi, the vice president is from Kono in Port Rico. They are all comedians. None of them will be Pashaka Stevie. They will be the I mean, this number of guests tonight, I haven't seen something like this for a long time. I love this. I mean,
I would never come sit here and tell anybody say APC is righteous. But you get some people and they are so partisan, they cannot see wrong. And for me, my values and the principle totally make I reject anything where blatantly evil. Somebody
anyway, Imran,
you, they can't support that person there.
Imran, we need for end the program. We don't go far beyond the time. So I want to give you the last word, coupled with what the caveat around the last word. What do you think about the future of your country? Looking at the looming elections, I don't know whether you're a man with a gamble. I mean, what's a gamble like? Do prediction. Because people already gamble and they can do prediction. They hope, say, maybe they will win and things like that. But on a more serious note, with the last word, what do you think, say, will be the potential outcome before the election? Because there are many things at play now, even as we speak. And every day we grab like the OSD guy where you mentioned where they kill. That was a thorough incident that government need for investigate. We see the investigative reports, them commissioned by the president, but largely, like with that guy, they talk about Vambu. Now the kind people we make up, then talk there. We're very incendiary for the general public, especially at this time. But election is looming. So I wonder what are your thoughts, both pre and post elections. And put Dr. Kandeh right in the middle of it. That's why my question they go to. So we start and end with them.
My honest take is first and foremost, if I conclude, I go one for remind people and say this election is the most unequally organized election, of which there are so much inequality for the other political opposition parties, because Madabio don't set the party for rigging, and you don't put all the processes together. It just they wait for switch them on. If the political party then smart enough for realize that and mark them man for man, make them not give them no chance, because when they see, then they beat people in the south say if they support APC, then for left, then waiting. If all them things then they then deal with them, then do free and fair election, APC they beat them hands down. But if the rigging take shape, APC no make preparation for counter the rigging before the election, SLP don't win. And I tell Salon people them, if their mistake allow that for happen, we for just kiss we country goodbye. And I go advise them say before the election, don't just come to a settlement. Let we all come to a decision for let them sell the country to Chinese, let we shape the couple, let we scatter. Because there will be no reason for them to again. Because if you look at what we don't see now, if SLPP win this election, well, I'm not going to say SLPP, power, because SLPP has never been this bad, has never been this nasty. If power win these elections, believe you me, the next 5 years will be the longest in the history of the world calendar. It will be so painful. It will be gruesome. It's not like when you get bad teachers or Whitler, where it bang you in the net. Then your finger begin to tick, or your teeth begin to tick. Now they don't know for say net long. You dey wait for door cleaning. Go tell door cleaning go take 3 days for they come. These 5 years, if people do not wake up, then decide for vote on tribal line. A dictator, what he does, he kill the opposite side for making young people and feel to say they protect them. Oh, now we may their brother. But when he don't get to position, the next people away they begin kill. Now una and una picking them. So in the practice now, how to kill a team and they limber them. But the next victims will be you. So we better come together as a family for decide. Let we put somebody where they seek the public interest. Madabio was a mistake and a nightmare where we all get to wake up from. So I ask every Sierra Leonean, please wake up, stop the sleeping. Your roofs are on fire. We get Lucifer, incarnate, now we country. We get Pharaoh, now we country. We should not allow them to grow roots. They should go. This is not an issue of being Minde, not an issue of being chimney. But I do not know how you will do it. You can change your leader now. Because if you change your leader, when I put anybody for SLPP, believe you me, I go trust you now. I go vote for you now. But if now Madabio already present, and they beg every peace love in Sierra Leone, any Sierra Leonean will get hope for let we get one country, one people, make them reject Madabio. He's done nothing for us. If the man get a God for come before now, if they make claims of what he don't do. If you see the vice president, they talk to that area there, where he said that he come out Bulom. He said they give them electricity, they give them this, they give them that, they go give them schools, everybody go school, everybody. The promises are not even coherent. They not show maturity. It's like now a kindergarten they talk. How kindergarten they talk when they duplicate. And then kind of people that we want to be with leader. Now we get the segmented them. One they sell drugs, one they kill person, Then one he gets sweet mouth, he gets sugar-coated mouth, and I not a salesman. Is this the kind of country where they hope say we go raise we picking them, we go raise we grand picking them? I don't want to go to my grave twisting and turning, say I have left bad country behind me. Do ya, me people them? I know they talk this because I support APC. Even the APC self way I they support. The only reason why they support it right now because they are the lesser evil. This election is not about voting for somebody righteous, but that would take it's better small than it was. Mother you don't make we know for see now. APC bad as they were, mistakes they've made, Mother you don't make they don't look like angel. When them compare with Mother you don't do. And the complacency, the audacity, the liver, the fuk when they get for come before we. For tell we say they don't do this, they don't do that, they don't make that, they don't make airport. At this time, when people don't get water for drink, airport's not priority. Do we have a hub? What's in a hub? We get here field where then they change for other country them. We forget here line. We don't have that. How many people in Sierra Leone, almost percent of people they born plane, where the benefits from that airport, where they employ. Is that a priority? It was not a priority. I do not know why we consistently get leader them when not they put best interest of the country first. Sierra Leone right now, we need water supply. We need a sewer system in Freetown. Because that country, that city, the people where they make provision for water supply and sewer system, not be reach 100,000 in 1961. Because in 1961, our population was 1 million, 1.8 million. Now, Freetown number alone is over 2 million. Can you imagine the amount of people them where they put in that city day? And when you hear about typhoid, that means to say the water table gets excrement. How would we have that dealt with? These are the things we talk about. And the reason why they see they get them with the way they get. Now, because of the excrements where they wash, they go now they see. They get a process where they call nitrogenification. When that they happen, the shit they produce so much nitrogen when they make grass, they grow it. So if we want we country for better, we want to do tourism, all them things they will deal with them. That will beach be the best beach. Because very soon the other area will left will look pure and nice. Number 2 river, they all go begin pull grass. So we therefore act very quickly. And one way now for that we get rid of this nightmare, let we replace them with something what we call government. What is a government? Government na people them where they pretend, where they facilitate process system for make the people them able live a better life. Like what you hear people them, na government property, the machine and making governments not get property. Government they are just facilitator. The people that will get the property in Sierra Leone, now the Sierra Leonean people. Now we own everything. Then people they are then just there as a government for make them facilitate processes where they work for we. Then they facilitate from where we get water supply, good school, good roads. And when they do that work, it is satisfactory, then come back to we vote them back in. And if they have not done so, we wave them goodbye. And I feel to say this particular government, there is no other government wave goodbye to pass them wire. My brother, now the water to Lonta. So at the end of the day, now we salon people that get water and then get flour. It's up to them. If they want for mix akara, it's up to them. If they want for make bread, it's up to them. If they want for make pancake, it's up to them. So do you have me people then? We not think, not on tribe, not on region. We not think how we want to see in our country the next 10 years. If all the things that way they happen are things that way you want for you picking them, for make them kill you picking them, do ya? We not think twice. Hello?
Okay, Imran?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, I hope that you may still continue to talk to the people. I mean, take a quick...
I'll continue for talk because I really get for talk to the people. And maybe I know say this situation here, now one way, This now water side, the fire don't come out for winner water side road. So we have to do what we have to do to get what we have to get. Because if we allow this man for come back for another 5 years, believe you me, we go down the day we cost the hour.
Okay,
and I don't feel we deserve that as a country.
No problem at all, Imran. One final word, 1 minute, 30 seconds. I know you've said enough.
And all the nightmare we don't go through, the capsule, when make this nightmare possible. Na Kandeh Yom Kela, and he don't show himself now. Clear. So all man will say Kandeh Yom Kela na the Jamfa and Salon politics. So Salon people them are the big one alone a fence Pankada Masara for him. Kandeh has not been productive. He has not been prudent. All Kandeh thinks about is Kandeh. All Kandeh breathes about is Kandeh. And Kandeh, Marabio, and Julde, and the entire government, people elect chief minister, where they talk publicly, they tell people and say, because they complain, say the president is fly too much, it's in a poverty mentality. Can you imagine the insult? When you see the reporter tell about it, the people are concerned. Now you they play down in such a way they say, so them what you they say so? What did the man talk? They say, well, I don't go withdraw that. Now poverty mentality. Man will be then they suffer. Man will say he studied peace and conflict management. He left the peace now, kept conflict going to Sierra Leone. And now he help the government for them create conflict and what it benefits them. And this should not happen. This should not go on. You know, so me people do it when I wake up, when I smell the coffee.
At all, this
smell when I get not to see minji, na pupu.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you to Una very, very much, for putting up with us today. It's very much appreciated. Una not forget for joining the program tomorrow. Imran will be hosting his very own program on this platform, and it's about elections 2024. Please spread the gospel. Please make sure that you are here, and please don't come alone. Come with a friend, another friend come with a friend. The message has to be told, it has to be heard. Members say the further a society drift from the truth, the more it therefore hates the one the way they talk am. This now George Orwell talk am decades and decades ago. And today it sounds so very true as it were when he said it then. This has been a TNN TV Media Empire program. Sierra Leoneans, be strong, be brave, ask and question more. Hold we leaders to account. It's a sacred duty. It's a constitutional duty. Everybody has got opinion of their own. Now, how you sort of meander around the opinion and how you lay and waste to the people, like it really matter. Even in media, they talk about mainstream media. All the people that we see they present program and they have all got opinions of their own. Sometimes if they work for major channels, you get for act in accordance with the editorial. That's the thing, and that makes the difference. But even when you sit down on the couch or the swiveling chair, that's what you do. You make your opinion around the questions that you're going to be asking. This is where you frame it. But what's important to Winaya is we will continue for ask the questions that were relevant about country until we stop for brief. Because that gives us peace of mind at night when we go to bed. Especially with this program we just do. I am fully pleased, fully satisfied. And the fact that a lot of Sierra Leoneans do appreciate it now, will appreciate it then, it gives me a pleasure. And I tell you, thank you, Sierra Leonean. Until we catch up again at some point very soon. Be good, be kind, ask more, question more, and that's a sacred duty. Goodbye, good night. Imran, thank you very much.